So I don't know if there's a difference as far as how thick or thin, but I really do like it a lot. Okay, let's put this here. No, I'm just going to use one of the sets. Which one though? Which one am I going to use as a throwaway? Probably that one. I like making these nail sticks. Tara Stoddard, if you don't watch her on YouTube, you should. Link below her YouTube site as well as her Facebook group. I learned the nail stick thing from her, where she would save like one strip from a set that she's used, just so she can remember like what sets she's used and like be able to like kind of like just compare, contrast and stuff like that. So I now have 4 bins like this full of like nail sticks that I've used. I've got a glitters, which is what I just showed you, and I've got a solids and French. I've got overlays, and then I've got nail designs, nail art designs. And so it's actually really nice to be able to like dig through them and just go, hey, like all the different reds that Color Street has come out with. It's like, let's compare with some reds that we've already used. See if they're the same or different. But yeah, I can't wait for the day that Color Street comes out with more colored overlays, similar to what they're selling over in Japan. Because I mean, look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. If you're a flower person, and I totally am a flower person. I love flowers. Surprisingly, one of my favorite flowers are pansies. There's something about how they look like faces that I love, and it's all because of Alice in Wonderland. So there are a lot of flowers that are beautiful, but something about the pansies. Although pansies are not really flowers you would like give in like a bouquet or anything like that. So I don't know. I think when it comes to like bouquets, I think I'm really traditional. Roses are always nice. Although a mixed bouquet is really nice when it's got like autumn colors. Autumn colors are awesome. So yeah, like any bouquet that you'd find at Trader Joe's or like pop-up flower shops. Like my coworker Cindy, her sister-in-law has a pop-up flower shop in the La Mirada area that pops up a lot of the times, and also in the OC. I'll link it below too, in case you guys are ever in the area and want to shop her flowers. But yeah, autumn flowers are awesome. And I do love the smell of like pumpkin spice, but I do not like the taste of pumpkin spice, if that makes any sense. Like, there's something about like pumpkin spice lattes that remind me of like candles. That's not what you typically will want to envision when you're having a nice coffee. So I'm definitely not a PSL kind of gal. Alright, here we go. My dog is getting very restless in this room with me. He is so fickle that he wants to be next to me, but then when I close the door to record, he wants to go out. It's like, okay, make up your mind, sir. If I put him out of the room, then he will scratch at the door. So it's like, okay. And then typically, when it's time for bed, if he's in bed with me and Panda Bear comes to bed, my dog Buddha just is like, let me out, let me out. He doesn't want to be in bed when both Mama and Papa are in bed. He just wants to be with Mama and that's it. He doesn't want to share. But last night he actually stayed the whole time, so I was surprised and also a little concerned because I'm like, Buddha, are you okay? Are you like weak? Super tired? Like, what's going on? Like, usually he doesn't want to stay with us all night, so he actually did, so that was surprising. This morning he didn't want to get up either, which is why I was like, are you okay? But he was just being really, really slow to wake up. Probably because it was so early in the morning that the sun wasn't even out yet. So yeah, he's not used to that. He's not used to the new schedule yet. But he'll have to get used to it. I guess it'll be a lot easier when we fall back in November. It is November, right? I think that's when we tend to fall back. Where we, and actually not every state does it either. But here in California we do fall back an hour for adjusting for daylight saving, which occurred in the spring. For the autumn and fall, getting towards winter, we turn it back an hour. And then in the springtime, we spring forward an hour. Those are like the worst. My body does not like those. Takes a hot minute to get used to the time adjustment. It's much easier to get used to falling back an hour, except for trying to go to bed at a decent hour. Sometimes that is harder. But waking up, not as hard. We are about halfway done getting Halloween costumes all purchased. We still need to get Amaryllis her costume. She really wants to be Mal, Maleficent's daughter from The Descendants. So that one's gonna likely require us going to the store with her to pick that out with her. So probably will happen within the next couple of weekends. Definitely not waiting for the weekend before Halloween. That would be a nightmare, trying to go to like a Spirit Halloween to find her specific costume. If we waited that long, we are in trouble. I gotta remember to dig out my Minion costume because we're thinking it would be really comical and cute to put Benjamin in the Minion costume, because Panda Bear is going to be Gru from Despicable Me. So having a Minion by his side, and my Minion costume is going to look super oversized on Benjamin, because he's still teeny tiny for his age. Although now that he's an actual teenager, it's like overnight he's like started like puberty already, as far as like facial hair is like slowly growing in on his face and like breaking out. All the teenager stuff that we had to like endure as teenagers. Benjamin's dealing with right now. So yeah. But, oh, and then Amalika wants to be Ariel, the Little Mermaid, which she's been before, but she wants to be her again. Of course, her old costume that she had, too small for her, so we've ordered her another one. And this one supposedly comes with a red wig, so she might have a lot of fun with that, or she will be really hating it. So we'll find out, because she wants the red long hair, but will she be able to handle wearing a wig? Last time she was Ariel, what we did was we bought some red extensions and clipped it into her hair. So I think we still have those extensions. I have to find out from Carla if we still do. But if not, and the wig is not her cup of tea, we might have to use Auntie's extensions. I also have colored extensions because they're fun to wear, and I haven't worn mine in a while after I had cut my hair a little bit. They're too long to blend into my current length of hair. But if it's a Halloween costume for Malika, I don't think it's going to matter what length the extensions are. So maybe we might let her use my extensions if the wig doesn't work out. But that will, only time will tell when we get the costume in the mail. We'll let her try on the wig and see if she can endure that or not. Yay, so look at this. You can kind of like lay it over so you can see what it'll sort of look like when you put it on. And then you can easily try it over other colors just to see what they would look like. And that is why I love doing this whole nail stick thing. Oh yeah, you can barely see that. That's fun. Alright, I'm sticking that in the overlays bin there. And then this one I'll stick in solid colors. Last but not least, my thumbs. Heart. It's my brother's birthday today, so happy birthday, Tony. We celebrated with him on Saturday. And my nephew Maximus also had a birthday. And then Amalika's having a birthday coming up. Lots of October birthdays. Well, Maximus is actually a September birthday. But our little Libras. And then my friend Diane also had her birthday just passed. I know a lot of Libras. But yes. Ooh, didn't think I'd have a need for this, but now I'm going to use it. I always lay out tools on the table, not knowing if I'm going to need them or not. And then I sometimes forget about them, and I use my fingers as tools when I could be using my tools. And so I just realized, I'm like, oh, let's try to use some of the tools. Thumbs are the worst to do. My thumbs, I keep saying it. I don't know how many videos I've said it in, but my thumbs are like the worst to deal with because they kind of like are some weird shape curve, and trying to get them on straight and flat and not have any wrinkles is like so hard to do. But that's as good as it's gonna get. I got a tiny little wrinkle right here, but the overlay is probably gonna cover it. I'm trying really hard this month not to buy any new nails except for the Color Street Color Play subscription box, which would have charged, I think, my card today. Usually they charge it on like the 2nd of the month, I want to say. And then they ship it like by no later than the 8th of the month. And so this October's sub box is called Gothic Beauty. And it looks very like gothic vampy. The image shows like very Victorian looking purple and black. But you never know with Color Street. Sometimes their image, their graphic that they use to advertise the sub box doesn't end up looking like the sets in the sub box don't end up looking exactly like what it is advertised. So that could be good or bad, depending on whether you like it or not. For me, I like the surprise of being surprised. And I love doing the unboxings and watching other people do the unboxings, because my opinion of a box is completely different than someone else's opinion of the box. And so it's really fun to just, like, I try very hard to avoid like social media during like the first week or two, week and a half, I should say, of when the sub boxes are released, because I don't want any spoilers. I want to be able to unbox my box with true first impressions of the box. Oh, that's going to bother me. Just a teeny bit right there is not covered, so that's okay. I will be changing these probably either Friday night or Saturday morning. For a surprise Manny, which I won't say any more about that. Those who know, know. But yes, more to come on that. I was looking at Tara's Facebook and I couldn't find a calendar for this month's themes. So I had to kind of go off on my own and choose a theme all on my own for this week. Which could be good or bad. But that's why I ended up choosing to finally use one of the Incoco sets that I purchased. So, good excuse to do it. That looks beautiful. That's nice. Alright. Hold on. Before I finish off my thumb, I need to make sure I turn on my flat iron so that I can seal up my leftover sets, my leftover strips. Disclaimer: Color Street is a one-time use application product, but I like to try and save if I have extras, and most of the time I do because I open up more than one set. I like to save the leftovers for another time, mostly for using on my nieces, but their nails are typically like most children's nails. No matter how much you have them wash their hands, they just have oily nail beds, so Color Street doesn't stay on them very long. Sometimes, though, it surprises me because sometimes it does stay on them for like over a week, which I'm shocked. But I used Color Street on my nieces yesterday. They were leftover sets. Of course, they wanted to pick and choose their own mixed Manny, which I'm fine with. But they love to really mix it up. I don't know if you've seen the pictures I've posted in my Facebook group, but they like to mix it up. So that's one thing I miss about like my niece Lorelai. She was like, she let Auntie choose. She would just pick a color and then Auntie could choose, and she was just the most well-behaved. Like, she didn't even move. She didn't flinch. I would use the orange stick, the cuticle pusher, and I would use the little cuticle nipper on her. Not a flinch. Not an ow. Nothing. She would just, like, stare, usually at the TV, because we would sit with her facing the TV, so she can still continue watching what her brother would be watching while I'm doing her nails. And I would like be able to do her nails in like less than 20 minutes with all the cleanup work and all, and not a peep out of her. And because I get to pick, usually I don't mix it up on her. I will just do one set, and it just looks so adorable on her 3-year-old fingers. I can't. Ugh, I miss her so much. I wish that we lived closer. Because I literally would do her nails every week if she wanted me to. And then my niece Emmeline, she doesn't live that close either. She's getting to the age where she's like into doing her own thing. So not as much wanting to spend time with Auntie anymore. Which is okay. But they grow up really fast. Kids. It just amazes me. Alright, so because I used the other end and it seemed to just miss the mark right there just a teeny bit, I'm going to use the other side this time and do it this way. And see if I can get my whole nail to be covered. Yep, way better. I have to remember that sometimes. My thumbs are just so picky. And I swear they're not like the same exact like width. But I guess that asymmetrical, that is nature. Like if you look at your face in the mirror carefully, I don't think any of our faces are like completely symmetrical. There's always like one eye is slightly like slanted a certain way than the other, or one's bigger than the other, or like, at least my eyebrows, I can never get my eyebrows exactly the same. And that's okay, because I guess we're not meant to have a fully symmetrical face. And even my fingernails, I can never get them to be like all exactly the same length. Even if I go to the salon and have them like shape them for me and stuff, I don't think it ever comes out looking exactly like perfectly all one length. Because I think, like, see how my fingers are like completely like not the same length at all? Like, I think even if I were to line my fingers up, if they were the same height, the nails would still not be fully the same length, no matter how I try to cut them. But yes. Alright. We have reached the end. Woohoo! Only 2 parters. It's rare if I go past part 2 nowadays. But I remember when I first started recording for YouTube, I believe I went to like 3 parts. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, who watches 3 parts? Not I. But if you've gotten this far, let's have you use the emoji of my favorite number, which is 3. Uno, dos, tres. Ya, isam. So yeah. 3's the magic number. Who watched Schoolhouse Rock? Who else grew up on that? Saturday morning cartoons and Schoolhouse Rock? But yeah, 3 is the magic number. That is my favorite number. And I'll leave you guys with that. This is the finished Manny. Let's meet in Crete and Wildflower Wonder from Incoco. I don't have to do very much cleanup here. It looks like I did most of it on camera, so I will take a picture tomorrow when the lighting is better. And yeah, if you've gotten this far, emoji with the number 3, and I will see you all next time. Peace.